Alright, this is my backpack work because while you have me labeled as some kind of, I don't know, decoy of some sort, DECKOYE, where I watch and I listen to the stupid fucking idiots at my everyday to transmit to master summary based on my global positioning here. I came to set the universal speaker system and safety structure unit, which is so precise. If you get it wrong, it pulls everything off in an unjustifiable manner. That is what you forced my body machina into. I was sent for a purpose. The inner orb of Linda and Lou, because of your ill behavior before as humans, split because the entire universe shifted in a manner that was unacceptable because of your behavior as humans. I then come to be, I'm in jail-like quarantine or isolation. I am the one who sets the universe back into alignment. I am supposed to, I have the only lineage that is the only plumb line that goes, that sets the entire system. I'm the only one who has it with Niklaus. We're the double plumb bob, the universal double plumb bob, no less, who then comes with the Ben capstone and the, they called him the Nero, but it's Nero, Nero, which is Alexicon. I mean, I'm the Rubicon with Niklaus for the first set. And then comes the Lexi, which is supposed to be solidified with the Ben capstone. You even allowed that to be messed up. And then you keep playing games. Here is the, I mean, we gave this to you. It's U.F.O, it's the New World. My vortex for universal purpose in Stargate in order to align the universal plumb, since you humans seem to think that now you're masters of the universe with your educational bullshit, and now you have completely fucked up the entire system and other outside systems with your curiosity and stupidity and failure to enforce law. That is the Z, that is how it got pulled out. That is why we were pulled in our U.F.O, unidentified female officer. Yeah, I sure am. And I'm also unidentified, right, flying object, because you don't know how the fuck I get places. And then you blame it on me like I scheduled it. Why would I schedule something that would cause me great amounts of pain, damage, and pull the entire alignment off, stupid human? Oh, it's like working with the dumb. And then you add the linguistic problem in, and then it's a bigger fucking problem. Now, this is the history. It was boxed in. One reads, if it's a book going this way, one hemisphere goes this way, one hemisphere reads this way. You meet at some kind of alignment in the middle. That's what the historical ancient texts for the millennia return. So this way you already know what my certification and my clearance is, because I'm exactly the same when I step out of unidentified territory. I'm scared of you humans and your curiosity and what it is that you think that you're going to steal from us. All right, and then we've got over here, this is what I have, the U.F.O and the Z, which is a non-historical parcel of land in a hemisphere cortex. So this way, the old and studied assholes can argue over in historic land masses, while the region that has no history whatsoever, so it has no grab and traction, so they can't find it in deep, dark sector vector space equipment because they have no labels that are valid. And so therefore they can't just pluck me out of my alignment and throw me into assignments that are not paid for and that are actually detrimental and hurt me in the end. Or at least that's what we were told you would at least commit to as humans before we agreed to help you reset your universe. Because, I mean, like, honestly, him and I, we own the box set. When we zap you all and delete you all from our very real database, it's just he and I sitting in the kingdom of Rus. I'm Rusia, he's Rusia, and we sit there, and he says, so, tell me about your day. He says, tell me about where you were, what happened. And I said, what do you mean? He says, were you married? I was like, yeah, it was horrible. I was like, I don't know. I was like, there was this one guy, he got me pregnant, and then I had to have his kid, and I hated every moment with him, and then it took forever. I was like, to get away from him. I finally get away from him, and then I get some other stupid. I was like, the whole thing was so confusing. There was no point. Every day it was just like, oh, well, this again? I fucking hate this. I hate it. There's no fucking point. Why am I here? Fucking delete every color out of the database and just go move me into dark space. Like, whatever your name is. And I said, what about you? And he said, oh, he's like, I have a different story. He says, I have a wife that I love very much. And I said, okay. I was like, well, what happened to her? And he says, what do you mean what happened to her? She's still around. I said, oh, no. I was like, just the way you said it, you made it sound like something had happened. He's like, well, something did happen. He goes, and then he just trailed off. And I said, what happened? He says, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. He says, what are you sorry for? And I said, I don't know. It just sounds like you got a lot going on. Because I could say the same. I'm like, no, actually, I have the opposite. I said, I got nothing going on. I was like, for years, I was like, that's kind of the point of, there was no point in any of it. And he started laughing. And then he wanted to know if he could help me up, and he gave me his hand. And I said, no, he's like, yeah, it is different being with your betrothed and actually having someone give you a helping hand when you have been forced to live by yourself, uncared for, unkept, and just, having every day to like figure out how to move throughout this disgusting menagerie and diorama of diarrhea, and just figure out how to get up by yourself, how to go to sleep by yourself, how to maintain by yourself. It's a real fucking shit show. Let's think about this. Yeah, it was one of my favorite stolen moments where you got to steal me out of this shitbag bipedal genetic collapsible system, and you took us where we belong, which is to our level of purpose, which is only each other. That's for Octavian. Well, Octavia was my grandfather, who is going to have Octavian, and meaning Niklaus, and myself, Nicole. And then, because he was born in October, and then I had Augusta, which is me, and Niklaus, and Augustin with the N. And then we bring in Nero, Nero, which is Alexander at this point, because it moved to Alexei when the Rubicon missed the alignment with Benjamin as capstone, and it fanned out the birth dates and the genetics, which is not permissible at all, but you did it anyway. You don't listen to a fucking thing that we said. And then I have simultaneously, while he and I are trying to get together for what we tell you, because we thought this was easy cognition, we just want to be husband and wife, like have a nice love story, grow up together, right? Have a few kids. Is that simple enough? You guys get that, right? At UFOs and like Humanville of spiritual whatever, right. Why is it that you're banditos and cholos and like San Pregunta and let's see, San Pregunta, Cholo, Banderos, Banditos. What else we got in Cholo territory? We got that they're street animals that the spirituals talk about in chloroform. I'm like, right, you're spiritual, right? Yeah, but we're the chloroform. The banditos, they think they're scared of us. Right, yeah, they sure are till they get memos from heaven going, just letting you know, you might want to have one of those scary conversations with your chosen one. Whatever. So I've got side game going on in the who knows ancient history and studied ancient texts that my Nuovo Zed side has no understanding of whatsoever. And you keep misleading them over in Veda. Mahabharata amongst the Taiwanese and the others, my Tao, and so forth. So they keep playing some vampire empire games with the stupid Nuovo team leaders, knowing that the New Hemisphere knows nothing because they have no history and they have very few ancient teachers of anthropology and so on and so forth that are still white. That's where I thought the Nazis and the SS might be helpful. Stupid Americans and Canadians, just saying. Right. And so, right. So there we are in, right. We keep the whitewashed and whatever calls themselves Pocahontas over here, which is confusing to everybody. So I don't know why you keep playing this game of letting everybody fucking over. They're not going to teach you anyway because they're still working for Kingdom elsewhere, stupid, and just now getting foot and ground and some genetics into the system they weren't allowed in because I didn't need them remapping the New Hemisphere with no history to then cause me new universal problems, since it is a Nazi and an SS and a Kingdom of Rusa, Ruzza, for Kingdom of R.U.S, and it is not for the lower games of lower kingdoms. It's just not. We're not there yet. You did not get my one part right. You do not get to partake in vampire games because they keep playing the big VA, the big spiritual VA. That's VA. And then you have MP as master person, which is the spiritual advisor that knows millennia worth of history, not just you Centaurians, because you Centaurians are idiots and fight over yesterday when we have tomorrow to fix, and it doesn't help. The millennials are a little more zen because they get the long picture and know exactly why I'm here and what needs to get done. But then even they're getting frustrated with the stupid Centials. And then they start punishing me, not by purpose, but by accident. And then I get hurt and they're like, I didn't realize that by doing that, that would knock off that cascading effect. Right, yeah, okay, I get you guys are like really, like you really know a lot, but then you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Right, yeah, that's a real fucking problem for me. Because I'm the one who keeps getting hurt and the one who keeps getting shit on.